Hello, I'm DK Johnston, and welcome to Alaska Filmmakers, a series dedicated to exploring the many talented individuals working in the Alaska film community. Joining us today is actress Renee Daw. Renee has become a well-known name on both stage and screen here in the Anchorage community. Over the past few years, she starred in such short films as The Nadir, The Devil and Danny Weber, Could Have Been More, and most recently, Pretty Little Victim. In 2010, she made her feature film debut starring opposite Joy Weaver and Bryant Maynard in the college comedy The Beekeepers. She's joined today by host Stephanie Wonchala here at the Alaska Pacific University to talk more about her experiences working with local filmmakers.
Hi Renee, thank you for joining us today. How did you get involved with production?
In the Anchorage area, I actually started in 2005 with Mike Bergstrom. We were all in high school and he wanted to make a film, so we did. And then from there on, he just helped me get, auditions, and it just kind of snowballed from there,
Why acting?
It's always been something that I've always wanted to do. Like my first sentence as a kid was cockcorn in a movie, which is popcorn in a movie without the actual, anyway. Yeah, so I did that, and then I just started in theater when I was 10, and it continued on from there to when I started film in 2005. And I kind of balanced film and theater every year.
What kind of training, like theater, have you had in this field?
I've done play since I was 10, so pretty much any community or church that I was in was my official training, and then I went to the American Academy of Dramatic Arts in LA, and I did some training there in 2005, which was fantastic. I loved doing that, and then I came back and I teach acting occasionally, so that really helps you be on top of what you're supposed to be doing.
What has your experience been like working with local filmmakers?
Very interesting. I've been on crews where it's literally a one-man band, and I've been on crews where it's a full crew, and everything has been fantastic because you learn so much. On every set is different, so you learn so much from all these different people, and then you work with people on different sets that you didn't work with before, and it's been great. It's been a really good learning experience, I feel. And since we're such a small community, when we work, we're really, we're working hard, and we want the same goal, so I feel like it's an amiable experience.
What's been your favorite production to work on so far?
All of them, pretty much. I know that sounds really stupid, but it's true, all of them. I really like the roles I get challenged in, that they're not just like, hey, Renee, show up and just be you, because me is just awkward. So I like being other people, and, Pretty Little Victim, of course, is the one where I've really gotten to explore my talent and really be challenged.
Are there any particular kinds of roles that challenge you that you prefer to play?
The ones that they say, like the director actually tells me, okay, we really need to get you here. They really challenge you in the aspect of, I need you to step out of you for a minute, and I need you to go to this place for me. I really like being challenged to do that because it's hard for me to do. I just kind of like to be me and the weird person I am, and so when I get on set and they say, you can't, don't do that, that's not good, and then they get me there. I really like that.
Are you a member of the Screen Actors Guild?
No, and I feel like a dork because I'm not now that I'm kicking myself. Before it didn't really seem like I should. Up here working before the whole tax thing happened and before they redid their contract for SAG, it was not smart to do that because I couldn't work on any local productions, and independent filmmakers, we're all starving artists, unless, So I feel like I didn't do it before, and then now that the whole thing happened, I should have done it, and I didn't, and now I feel like an idiot. So hopefully I'll do it.
Do you ever plan on taking your acting to a larger production market?
Yeah, if they'll have me. I would really like to be able to be on a huge set like that and just, stare up at things, and, I want to be a part of that, if they let me.
Are there any other projects that you're working on right now?
No, which is why I'm grumpy. I don't have anything to work on right now. Hopefully in November I will.
Is there anything else interesting that you've learned or experienced working on sets?
Yes and no. The interesting things are every set is different, and then no, it's because everything is different. You expect going in, just be okay with yourself, and then when you get there, people, they want to be there. So just want to be there, you know. A good set is a good set that everybody wants to be there. They're having a good time. They're getting their work done, you know. Just be a good person when you get on set.
Could you tell us a little bit more about your experience working with Mike Bergstrom on your first film?
Yes, that was really fun. It was the first film I had ever done. Mike and his friend Ian had made a few films by themselves, and they looked kind of creepy because they were tramping around in the woods with a camera. But when we got to set and we were doing it, we had sound, which was really exciting. We had a venue, you know, we had a location. Hair and makeup was done by us. I painted Mike's face white because he's supposed to be the creepy butler. And I just kind of like put cake makeup on his face. That was why it was terrible. But even from then, working on that set, Mike was really professional. You know, like you could tell that's what he wanted to do. And then shortly after that film, he went off to college to pursue filmmaking. But even then, you could tell on set he was very excited to be there, and he knew what he wanted and he knew how to get it done. That was a really fun film. I just watched that actually a few months ago. Unfortunately, I rewatched it and I'm just sitting there the whole time just laughing my head off because, you know, you remember silly things that happened on set. Like the meat we cut was cold and it was gross, and it's that stuff that it's not Spam, but it's the stuff that came out of a can and then you like plop it into a dish and then you cook it, and his mom cooked it. Well, then it was sitting on set for a couple of hours and it was cold. And so if you see people cutting on film, like recutting their meat, it's because nobody wanted to eat it. It was really funny.
What was your experience like working with Tom Trainer?
I got a call, I think, the day before filming saying, hey, Renee, I need an actress. Can you do this? And he told me what the part was about, and I was not apprehensive as I should have been when when he told me that. I'm like, sure, I'll show up and do it. And so when I get there and you know, going through it, it was actually a really good experience. He's very fun to work with and easy to work for, you know. You just show up, you don't feel uncomfortable or anything. It's not like he's a weirdo.
What about shooting Sleep?
Yeah, Sleep was the second film I did with a full crew, which is actually the first time I met Mike Collier and the first time I met Bryant Maynard. It's the first film I got auditioned for. It's the first film I got cast in for that I actually auditioned. So that film actually means a lot to me. I wish I could see it. But that was a great film. We shot at Snow City for my scene, the first one, and I was really nervous, but the cast was great and the crew was great.
So you met Bryant Maynard through Sleep, and then you starred in one of his feature films.
Yeah, Beekeepers. Mike Bergstrom contacted me, I would not say shortly after Sleep, because that was 2006, yeah, and said, Bryant Maynard is auditioning for his film Beekeepers. The date and time is this, do you want to go? And I said, of course I want to go. So I went and I auditioned, and then when I got there I realized, oh, Bryant, you know, it'd been a couple of years I think actually. And I show up and I audition, and I was really nervous because it's the second film I auditioned for. And then they gave me the part later, and it was so much fun working on set. I had a problem at first because I didn't really know them. I didn't know the Scarface crew, and they kind of do things by the seat of their pants, you know, at first. And so I wasn't okay with that, and then they kind of talked me into it, and I was like, okay, I'll get over myself and I'll do this, you know. And since then, I'm so glad that Bryant talked me into doing it because I love all those people. They're fantastic, and they're a lot of fun to work with. Unfortunately, on set, they had said they wanted me to do a video blog for my part, so they could just kind of like pop it up and show it as Dale was watching me. And I thought they were going to give me something. And so when I get there, I didn't realize I had to make it up. So I just literally, thank God I was playing World of Warcraft at the time, because I would have not had anything to talk about if I hadn't. I said some stuff in that video blog that was kind of awkward, and I know will haunt me for the rest of my life because people keep mentioning it. But it was great. It was such a fun experience. So I'm glad I got to do that one.
Speaking of Dale, what's it like working opposite Joey Weaver?
I had so much fun with Joey on set because he's supposed to be this weirdo, you know, Dale, of course. Dale. Yeah. Working with him is so much fun. Like, it's so hard to not laugh on a Scarface production. Because everyone there, they're so funny and they're so talented, and they're very quick, you know, and especially Joey, who's played Dale before, you know, he's got it down. So when he's on set, he's just on set. And the glasses he wears, and it's just, oh God, it's so funny. Joey is very talented, and he's extremely quick. So I was wearing a green shirt on set one day for one of our scenes, and he just improv that he liked my shirt. It's green, it reminded him of Jell-O, sugar-free. Like, I still say sugar-free to this day. I'm in the store and I'm looking at stuff, it says sugar-free. So, Joey has changed my life forever.
Can you tell me about working with Matt Jardin on Could Have Been More?
Yes, that was probably one of my favorite films that I've done too, like all of them. But because up until that point, and besides Pretty Little Victim, I've pretty much played the nerdy next door girl that I am. And so when they put me on set as the fiance, and they're like, she needs to be a little bit more sophisticated, and I had a lot of fun with that part because Zoe, the part I played, was kind of important to me. You know, like she was a good character, but she comes off as maybe a little cold and too much about the wedding. It turns out she's not really like that. And I really enjoy that kind of stuff in film when I'm personally watching it. And Matt Jardin his ideas for his scripts are very, very nice. And I think he collaborated with John Norris, if I'm correct, on Could Have Been More. And John Norris as well is extremely talented. And so when they put their two minds together, I think they came up with a really great script, and the character's really good. And Paul Jones was my fiance in that, and Rebecca Barker played the other woman, which was fantastic. And Matt is very good at telling you, in a nice way, well, you did great doing that, but let's try it this way, you know, which I need a lot of.
You've worked with such an array of directors. What is it that you appreciate in or look for in a director?
I like a director to say, this is my vision of the character. And then I like them to say, I want you to try it your way. You know, you do your thing, and then I will either push you forward or I'll pull you back. Because as an actor, it's really kind of hard. You know, sometimes when a director says, well, this is the character, you'd be like, well, that's what you think the character is. But as the actor, you know, you see it as a different way. And sometimes it's really nice for a director to be like, this is what I see, but do it your way, and then I'll either push you forward or pull you back. So you know kind of what direction they're wanting and going, because they can see through the camera and you can't. You know, you're so wrapped up here and here that you can't see back here, you know, and that's really helpful.
What kind of growth or improvement have you seen in the Alaskan film community over the past several years?
An extensive amount. I mean, you're talking about people who started with home cameras like you know, with their home camera, rewinding to see where they messed up to go back, you know, to like, hey, I just met you, you do sound. Do you want to perhaps try and do sound with me? You know, that kind of stuff to now that you have the same people working with the same people on crew, because we grew up together doing this. You know, we all kind of wanted to do this, and we kind of found each other, and then to where we're all working with everybody now, because Alaska's film community is so small but so big at the same time, and it's great to come on set and know 2 or 3 people that you've worked on different projects with, and it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger to where somebody goes, oh hey, I heard about you from so-and-so, or I saw your film and that was great, I saw it from Matt Jardin, or you know, that from growing to friends getting together to make films because they love it to, oh my gosh, there are so many people here that love to do it, that you're just pulling people from everybody's group and giving people to everybody's group. It's amazing. It's like we created our own ecosystem, you know, it's incredible.
Is there any one role that you're really hanging in there for?
Yeah, I want to be a badass. Can I say that? I want to be a badass. I want to be, you know, the girl they're like, dang, you know what I mean? Like, I want to do that. I've never done that. I've never seen myself as that. But I really want to do it. It looks like so much fun. Growing up on Indiana Jones and Princess Bride, you know, like when I saw those movies, I fell in love with, I want to be Indiana Jones, or I want to be Wesley from, you know, the Princess Bride, like the girls, whatever, but like I want to be those guys because they're the cool ones, you know, or the Mummy, Brendan Fraser, like I want to be him, which I know sound kind of weird, but I want, you know, the action adventure type role. You know, I did Snow Angels with Mike Bergstrom, and I really kind of want to kind of elaborate on, you know, the nun I play is kind of mouthy. Who knew? Me playing a mouthy person. And then, you know, she's trained in all sorts of fighting and stuff, but I want to do more of that. You know, I like the physical aspect of it.
Are there any specific actors or actresses whom you admire or try to emulate?
I have a lot of actors and actresses that I absolutely love. I would never try to emulate myself after them because they are them and I am me. You know, my talent is mine and their talent is theirs. But I love Audrey Hepburn just for the sheer fact of she walks on set, or she walked on set and was exquisite. I mean, she was herself, and you know what I mean? I've never seen her play anything that was out in the kooky world, you know what I mean? But she was fantastic just walking on set. And you can get it through the camera. Helena Bonham Carter is one of my other favorites. She's just so dark, you know, but not at the same time. She seems like she's a great person, and I love her acting style. There's a lot going on when she's acting, and I really enjoy that. Jodie Foster, she's one of the other ones that I really liked. The accent, for somebody to be able to successfully go through her career keeping her accent the way she has it is incredible to me, because her acting is the thing that people are really looking into. Actors, you know, I'm a fan of Christian Bale just to the fact of he's growing up on Newsies, you know, like he's Jack Kelly. You know, I love that one. That was one of my favorite roles he played. Man, there's a lot of people I like. Shia LaBeouf, I know it sounds silly, but on Even Stevens on Disney, I mean, come on. Like, that show, he was so funny. And he carried the show. Like, he was the show. And I hopefully one day am able to do that kind of stuff, you know. To be that person who can shine through, you know. I want challenge, but, you know, kind of walk on set and just do it, you know.
You and Paul Jones had mentioned wanting to do some kind of actor training locally. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, I started teaching acting through a talent agency in Washington up here, and they were looking for teachers to teach their students. And I got into that, and I pulled Paul Jones in because Paul is my go-to guy for pretty much anything in the acting community. I go right to Paul. And he started teaching with me, and we kind of realized that we make a really good team where I kind of go off on the spin of, if you do this, then this will happen, and this will happen, and this will happen. And he's really good at being like, what Renee is trying to say is, you know, and he pulls it back in. And Paul sees things that I don't. So what we kind of wanted to do was, with our knowledge of theater and film combined, you know, we're like the ultimate team, you know what I mean? Like, we feel like we've got it down from our experiences. And so we wanted to give the local community, you know, we wanted to teach them, do audition prep, teach them the basics, because a lot of people are interested in film. They just don't know where to get started, especially in Alaska. It's kind of hard to be like, well, where do I go, you know? And we kind of wanted to help people go in the right direction. Paul actually was helping this girl audition prep, Chloe, and she auditioned, and a talent agent loved her and got her in, and she actually just auditioned for Frozen Ground. So, you know, we're really rooting for her. So it's something that we want to give back to the community because we got it from the community, you know. We were taught here, and we want to help teach here.
What advice would you have to offer for future actors?
Future actors. I know it's pretty a cutthroat society out there for entertainment industry, but really the best thing you can do as an actor is to know your talent and to be able to willing to put yourself out there and be like, you know, I may not be as good as him or her, but you know, I know what I've got, and I'm okay with what I have. Always keep working on it. You know, don't ever, you know, turn your nose up at like the 101 film class. You know, they help. You know, it's good to go back to basics. When I was teaching, you know, in my first class, I was so nervous. I was like, I don't know any of this. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I do know this stuff. It's just been so long since I've had to bring it that it's, you know, it's good to bring it back. So as an actor, know your talent, know yourself, be confident in what you have. Yes, there's always gonna be somebody better, you know, or prettier, or whatever, you know, but that's them and you're you know, so work with what you have.
That's all the time we have today on Alaska Filmmakers. To learn more about Renee and her works, please visit our website at alaskafilmmakers.com. We'd like to thank Renee for joining us on the program, as well as the Alaska Pacific University for their hospitality. and to all of our sponsors and supporters who help make this season of AKF possible. Join us next week for a special extended edition of Alaska Filmmakers as we welcome writer and director of On the Ice, Andrew McLean, and his producer, Kara Marcus. Until then, remember, everyone has a story to tell.